really practical techniques.
Yeah, the idea is to help you actually start thinking in English, not just translating.
Exactly. And our mission here is to break these down into clear steps, things you can use right away without it feeling, overwhelming.
We want to help you build that natural, internal English voice.
So it's about training your brain, essentially, to skip the translation.
Precisely. So your thoughts actually form in English. It makes the whole process way more direct, more efficient.
Okay, let's get practical then. Where do we start? The first step sounds almost too simple. Just labeling everyday objects.
It does sound basic, yeah. Like just thinking chair.
The table, phone, window. That's it.
That's the foundation. It seems small, but doing it consistently starts building these really fundamental connections in your brain.
Neural connections, you mean?
Mm-hmm. You're associating the object directly with the English word, over and over.
So it becomes automatic.
Exactly. Automaticity. That effortless recall you need for fluent thought. It cuts out the middleman, your native language.
Got it. So from single words, what's next? Building up.
Yeah, you build on that. Start forming simple phrases. Maybe start narrating what you're doing, but just internally.
Like instead of just phone, thinking.
My phone is on the table, or I am brushing my teeth. Now I will make tea. That sort of thing.
Right. You're describing your own actions to yourself in English.
And how does that help beyond just like vocabulary?
Well, that's where you naturally start practicing grammar. Verb tenses, sentence structure, but in a real meaningful context, your own life.
It makes it stick better, I guess.
It really does. It's practical application.
Okay, now this next one. I admit it might feel a bit weird at first, actually talking to yourself in English.
Yeah, it can feel strange initially, out loud or even silently. Like planning your day in your head. What do I have to do today? First, I'll finish my homework.
Then call Ria. Exactly like that.
What's the real benefit there? Why say it, even silently?
It strengthens the connection between your brain and your mouth, essentially. It bridges that gap between thinking the English words and actually saying them.
Okay. Practice for the real thing.
Even silent internal speech helps you get used to the rhythm, the flow of English sentences. It gets less awkward the more you do it.
Makes sense. Another tool mentioned is keeping an English journal.
Yes, and this is important. The advice is not to worry about perfect grammar.
Right. Just write what's in your head. Free writing, basically.
Exactly. Just let your thoughts flow onto the page in English. No pressure.
Why is that kind of writing valuable for changing how you think?
It's a safe space, isn't it? You get to experiment with expressing yourself directly in English without that fear of making mistakes. It builds fluency, and you also spot where your vocabulary needs work.
Okay. Oh, we can't forget immersion, right? Surrounding yourself with English.
Definitely. Shows, podcasts, books, YouTubers, whatever you enjoy.
It feels kind of passive, just listening or watching.
Yeah.
But it helps thinking.
Oh, absolutely. You're constantly soaking up natural phrasing, how sentences are built, vocabulary and context. Your brain absorbs these patterns subconsciously.
And that influences how you start forming your own thoughts in English.
It really does. It seeps in.
Now, this feels like a really crucial point. Avoiding what the sources call the translation trap.
This is key. Shifting from translating word for word to associating the meaning directly in English.
They gave that example. Instead of thinking punka means fan, you think
fan is the thing that gives me air. You connect the English word directly to the concept, the function, the image.
How does that change the thinking process itself?
Fundamentally, it cuts out that extra step, that detour through your native language.
Yeah.
Translation just slows you down.
It probably leads to less natural phrasing.
Often, yes.
Yeah.
Direct association builds a much more intuitive feel for the language, faster, more fluent thought.
So to practice that direct connection, they suggest sort of mental exercises, thinking games.
Yeah, like actively trying to describe a scene around you just in your head using English.
Or explaining a process, maybe? Like how to make your favorite recipe?
Or mentally retelling a story you heard in English.
How do these mental workouts help?
They force you to actively use your English vocabulary and grammar in different situations. It's like rehearsal.
Building confidence for different kinds of conversation.
Exactly. It solidifies your understanding and makes you more flexible.
And finally, something we really need to stress. This all takes time and effort.
Patience and consistency. It's so important. Like the sources say, don't aim for perfection, aim for progress.
Why is that mindset so crucial here? It's not a quick fix.
No, because you're literally rewiring parts of your brain. Building new habits, new pathways, that takes repetition, consistent effort, even small bits every day adds up.
Right. It compounds over time.
Leads to real significant progress eventually.
So the main takeaway here is that shifting your thinking into English, it's a process, it's gradual, but it's definitely achievable.
Totally achievable. It's about consistently using these kinds of practical techniques, building that internal voice.
Which kind of brings us to a final thought for you listening right now.
Yeah, maybe think about what's one small thing, just one technique from today that you could try, like right now or later today.
Maybe just labeling 3 things in the room or narrating your next simple action to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm getting up now.
Just notice what happens when you make that small internal shift. It really can unlock a deeper level of understanding, a fluency that goes beyond just memorizing words.
Moving towards more natural command of English.
Exactly. That's the goal.